Very good. Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Well, appreciate you guys' time. Obviously, after a game like that hurts, we got to find a way to win those games. But first and foremost for me always, man, thank you, Jesus, for an opportunity to coach this team, man. I'm so confident in this team, love this team, and had every opportunity to win. And that's what everybody says after they lose a game, but I really did feel that way. I'm proud of how our team battled tonight. I feel way different than after lost to game 1 of the season against South Florida, where I felt like we didn't at times. Tonight, I really felt like we battled. I felt like our team never quit, even though obviously some self-inflicted stuff happened in regards to penalties or, mistakes on our end that we got to fix. But I'm proud of our guys battling. I'm proud of them never quitting. Proud of them, even on the sideline, man, there was no pointing finger. They didn't see anybody start, quitting. They glued together. I believe where there's unity, God commands a blessing. Our team stayed close. We just got to find a way to execute better. I mean, in a game, when you have 4 turnovers, I don't care who you're playing, especially a top 10 team like Notre Dame, you're not gonna win. And so we got to protect the football. We moved the football really well offensively today, or we had our moments, but we can't have penalties that put us behind the sticks. We got to find a way to get open in man coverage more consistently, and we got to make sure we don't turn the ball over. Defensively, we just gave up too many explosive runs, and it came down to tackling. Sometimes up front we were off. Sometimes our defensive line got reached, and linebackers weren't fast enough to fit. We got to get off blocks at linebacker, and we got to do a better job tackling. There were times in the game we did a good job. We knew these 2 tailbacks were really good. But we got to talk about it. I know we've talked about that a lot. We got to continue to find ways to get ball carriers on the ground. And there's a couple critical third downs on defense that we got to make sure we get off the field, especially with an explosive offense. I mean, that's one of the top offenses in the country. And we were doing a good job. We got to get off the field on third down. So a lot of things that, as a coach, frustrate me just in regards to how a play ended, if it's either a lack of fundamentals, a lack of technique, but I am proud of how our team battled. And at Boise State, we got to find a way to win these games, period, end of story, and we haven't, and that's on me. And I got to look at it to see what are we missing, how can we coach it better, how can we teach it better, and we got to be problem solvers because we got to find a way to win these games. You don't come out here for a trip. We don't come out here to enjoy the scenery. We come out here to win, and we didn't. And we had every right to. We didn't. Hats off to Notre Dame, very well coached. Coach Freeman's done a phenomenal job with his team. And I know they're going to be really good and always will be really good because they got the right guy at the helm. So, like I said, proud of how our guys battled. We didn't do enough to win tonight, and that's on me. It's on our staff to find ways to get it fixed.
You mentioned the turnovers, the penalties, there were missed tackles. And I know you haven't looked at the film yet, but just based on what you see, what do you guys have to do to fix those?
Yeah, we had a couple of self-inflicted penalties today, right? Some of the holdings and we had an offensive PI that those are bang plays. I got to look at the film to see what we're missing, maybe teaching wise, but I can live in that space. We got to find a way to not have those happen. But I think we were even in penalties both sides. I think Notre Dame had theirs, we had ours. But what hurts you is false start penalty, get you behind the stick, some procedure penalties that can happen. And on the flip side, I mean, we put ourselves in tough situations. That's where a lot of these turnovers came up, right? We got to find a way to win in man coverage. We have to. And teams that got really good secondary like Notre Dame does, we got to find a way to win in man coverage, and we got to be consistent with running the football, and we didn't tonight. And that's what happened. So you can get yards, but if you turn the ball over and you shoot yourself in the foot with penalties, you're not going to be able to score points. And against a really good team like Notre Dame, we got to use every possession.
Just with the penalties, Spencer. I mean, it feels like last year we weren't talking about games with 10+ penalties. It was full game today. Do you know where that's coming from?
Yeah, obviously it's something we're missing as coaches, and it's something we got to continue to look at. And just like anything, if we were to win this game, which I believe coming into this we were, I'm going to give Jesus all the glory, give our coaches, our players. When we lose, it's on me. It's on me, and I don't say that lightly. I don't say this like that's the nice thing to say. I believe that, obviously, for me and how we practice, how we teach, that's what we control as coaches. By the time you get to the game, we're not going to overcoach them. It's time to go cut it loose because you're going to be who you are in the game. And so we got to see in practice and what we're teaching. Obviously, it's too many penalties. We lost the game tonight because we turned the ball over and we didn't get off the field on some critical third downs. That's why we lost the game. Penalties are big. We can't – now, penalties turned into turnovers because we're now on fourth downs and third and longs, and that's where you start being careless with the football a little bit, and that's what can clean that up.
You actually talked about the turnovers. What about Notre Dame's secondary is so good and gave you guys some problems?
Yeah, they did a really good job in their man coverage. It was hard for even with some shifts, some motions. They did a good job locking on. We didn't have a lot of guys running free. And hats off to their defensive scheme. They did a good job, and we were able to move the ball a little bit. And then good job by the time we got open in man coverage, their front was able to get home. And great plan by Coach Ash, Coach Freeman. I mean, they did a really good job.
They had 4 sacks today too.
Yeah.
Was the pass rush and kind of the more increased blitzing something that you guys were expecting coming in?
Yeah, I mean they had their switch ups for us, which every good team will, and they did a good job of their defensive plan. But it's a trickle down effect, right? If no one's open downfield, that's going to give time for the rush to get home, and they worked really well together as a defense.
With Madsen, how do you evaluate his play? And some of those interceptions just seem like ill-advised throws or bad throws.
Yeah, I got to look at it, BJ. I mean, obviously, the easy answer is he's got to make the right throw, but without watching the film, me, different than our coordinators, I don't get time to get on the iPad and see what's going on. The second one side of the ball is off the field, I'm right onto the next side of the ball. So I'm going to have to watch the film, BJ. Obviously, I know there's some throws that Maddox missed tonight. There's some turnovers that we can't have, but we're not in good situations, right? And that's holistic. Coaching, players, we can't be in third and long all the time, right? That's hats off to Notre Dame's defense and us not executing when we need to on first and second down. So got to watch the film to really evaluate it. I know Maddox is a competitor. He's hard on himself. I know he's beat himself up, but this is a team. I mean, we didn't lose the game tonight because Maddox Madsen had some interceptions. We lost the game because we lost as a team. And there's going to be things in all 3 phases. I mean, you look at the first punt of the game. We're running down on punt, and we get a fair catch. We start to slow down at gunner, and that ball falls on the ground. Those are plays we got to find a way to win. We didn't tonight. So long-winded answer, BJ. We got to look at the film, and obviously there's interceptions in the game. The first finger is going to get pointed at the starting quarterback. We got to watch the film, but either way, we got to find a way to take care of the football, and we just got to be more efficient on first and second down.
The Latrell Caples penalty there. I mean, you guys were moving the ball. Maybe you could tie the game there to start the third quarter. I mean, I saw you talking to the ref. I mean, I know you haven't seen the film, but that's a tough one.
Yeah, from my vantage point, didn't look like a foul. Obviously, they called it the way they need to, and that's a good officiating crew. So we'll look at the film. It is what it is. I mean, there's obviously those are huge moments, momentum swings. But as a team, good teams find a way to overcome those, and we did tonight.
Coach, Madsen, he had a great, seemed like first half he was ups, and then there were some downs there. Coming off the sideline, we saw his facial expressions. What do you tell your starting quarterback after a night like that?
He's a competitor. I mean, that's the thing about however a game goes, the first finger gets pointed at the head coach, as it should, and then usually people try and nitpick the starting quarterback, right? I don't care where you're at, who you are, that's football in general. Maddox Madsen's a warrior. I will go to war with Maddox Madsen any day of the week, and there's not a quarterback in the country that I would like to be the quarterback of our team than Maddox Madsen. Period, end of story. We'll watch the film and find ways for him to continue to grow.
Just with the offense, you said something situational. Do you think some of the issues with the passing game is just not being able to get the running game going as well?
It's both sides, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's much easier to throw the football when you're able to run efficiently, right? When you're stopping the run, you're playing 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10. Then it's time for the question about the pass rush. Then it's time for Notre Dame to pin their ears back and go get the quarterback, right? And then that gives time for the rush to get home, and then we got to win in man coverage. So it's a trickle-down effect. If I can't win first down, if we can't establish a run game, which we really didn't tonight, it's going to be hard for us to win in the pass game. We are built to run the football. We are built to wear a defense down and then pick our shots. We weren't able to pick our shots tonight, and that's hats off to Notre Dame.
You guys obviously took the lead there about 4 minutes ago, and then within 3 plays, they're already down inside the 30.
Yep.
I mean, just the explosive plays.
Yep.
You mentioned the tackling, but how big was that touchdown by them late in the half?
I mean, they won the middle 8. And that's a huge stat in college football, right? And we got to find a way to make sure it doesn't happen. We get the momentum back, up 1 point. Great job by our team, find a way to claw back, getting ready to go into halftime, and they moved down the field effortlessly, right? Missed tackles. There was a big 3rd and long that we missed too. Like, you can't lose those downs, and we did tonight. So we got to look at it and see, okay, what are we missing? Is it lack of fundamentals and technique? I know tackling is going to show up in a major way, and that's something, guys, we're going to continue to work and continue to find better ways to do it. And I know I'm going to probably get asked on Monday's conference, you keep bringing up tackling, and I'm going to bring it up again because we got to continue to find ways to do it better. And I know we practice it, but we got to find a way. What are we missing? I don't know. We're going to look at it and find a way. We're problem solvers, and I'm excited to get to work on it.
Cup in there. How was it tough to run the ball tonight? How much does it also take some patience at time, I guess, maybe? You guys were also, juggling a couple of interior offensive linemen pretty much throughout the entire game, too.
Yeah, we had some guys banged up in the interior line, so we had to kind of rotate. But I believe in our offensive front. I believe in our schemes to run the football. Like, that's a mentality for us. We're never going to go into a game and be like, yeah, this is not a game we need to run the football in. That is a mentality of Boise State football. and we couldn't do it tonight, right? And is there some things schematically, play call? No question, right? We'll look at that and see kind of where we're missing it, but we got to find a way to make sure we run the football. It's not 2nd and 11, right? That's a hard spot to be in offensively. Once again, hats off to Notre Dame. We'll look at the film, but we have to establish a run game to be successful, and that's not different at Boise State than anywhere else. Notre Dame established a run game, right? They established a run game early on in the game, and then that's hard as a defensive play caller to stop now because now you're second guessing yourself.
PJ, go ahead.
Big picture wise, I mean, it's a non-conference game. I know you obviously wanted to win. It would have been a lot of things for you, but to go back into conference play now and be 1-0 there and still have that goal ahead of you, I guess how do you got kind of refocus here for what's ahead?
Yeah, BJ. I mean, obviously, it's always the next game. No matter if we won this game, it'd still be our focus would be on New Mexico, which is a huge league opponent, and they've played really, really well. But this one hurts. I mean, like I said, I don't run from the fact that we have to find a way to win these football games, and I believe we will. We didn't this year. We didn't last year, and that's on me. And there's no excuse. It's not. And I've heard all the excuses. Well, no. There's 11 dudes on the field. We got 11 guys. We got to find a way to win. We didn't, and that's on me. And I'm excited to find a way to get it fixed because we got to find a way to win this football games. Bronco Nation travels so well. I mean, I got pictures of the Boise airport yesterday packed coming to see the Broncos in South Bend. They didn't come out here just for us to try. They came out here to see us win, and we didn't. Once again, hats off to Notre Dame. It's a really good football team, but we got to be better.
Jay, last one. It's probably not the best time to ask it because it might sound like an excuse, but I mean, college football is a resources race at this point in time. And if you look around this place, I mean, you're looking at a school that has a lot of them. So, I mean, Penn State has a lot of them. I mean, just how much more difficult is it to find a way to win these types of games in this current state of college football?
Yeah, Jay, good question. I mean, there's absolutely a reality to that, so I'm not running from that. And we have the best athletic director in the country in Jeremiah Dickey. I believe in our support, and we need to continue to grow our resources. Have to, no question about it. But right now, this season, 2025, we have enough. And I don't ever go into a season. There's no scoreboard where it shows Notre Dame's money, Boise State's money. There's only one scoreboard, and we lost that scoreboard tonight. And that's on me as the head coach. That's on us to get it fixed. So we have enough. I knew going into the season we had enough to win every single game we played in, and we've lost 2. And that's on me to get fixed. Not running from the fact that I know in the future we got to find a way to continue to push forward and raise resources and continue to pour into our team and what we're doing. And I know we will. I believe in our administration. I believe what God is doing with our team. But we have enough, and we didn't get it done.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.